Okay, and welcome to this next lecture. We're going to talk in this lecture about another part that is important in information systems and information management. And specifically, we're talking here about customer relationship management. In a lot of the previous chapters, and when we talk about e-commerce, when we talk about supply chain, when we talk about social media, these are all methods that relate to engaging your customer, getting them to buy products, getting them to know your organization, getting to work with them. So all of that is part of what we call customer relationship management. It is the relationship that you as an organization are engaging with your clients, with your customers. So customer relationship management is key in a lot of the aspects that we've shown you. E-commerce, selling products online is about establishing a relationship with your customer. If you talk about collaborating with other people to develop products, it's part of customer relationship management. Getting to sell products to customers, shipping them to them, customer service, follow-up, and so on. It's all part of customer relationship management. And today, that customer relationship management, especially in the digital world, has become increasingly important. It is one of the key distinctive features that companies have these days. A good customer relationship management, especially if that's part of your strategy, your competitive advantage, is key in being a successful organization, especially online. So let's talk a little bit about these different aspects of what customer relationship management brings you in terms of benefits. So if you think about customer relationship management and you look at all these technological innovations we've talked about before, all these transformations in our society that are happening, customer relationship management in the digital world is something that offers a lot of opportunities, but also a lot of pitfalls. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So one of the benefits is that because of the digital world, you can offer and maintain that relationship with the customer 24/7, anywhere around the world. We've talked about this in mobile commerce, we've talked about it in social media, we've talked about it in virtual communities. People are connected or are able to connect and access information anytime, any place. That means that you also have the opportunity for the customer to engage you anytime, any place, anywhere, and for the customer to engage with you if they need your service. So that transformation has become, for example, with web interfaces, a 24/7 operation. Second, you can also think about individualized service. You get to know customers have their own profile, for example, in your system. You know which products they've ordered. You know which services they're using. You know a lot of things about them. That allows you to tailor your service and your relationship specifically to the customer. How many flights do they take? What kind of products do they buy? What kind of household do they live? Which neighborhood do they live? How far away do they live? All this information can enable you to tailor your service to that specific customer. Second, you can also integrate the information in one place. Because a lot of the information exists in digital systems, you can bring that information together and create one customer profile that allows you to get an overview of everything that you know about your customer, your client, and the relationship you have with them. If you talk about, that's all part of knowing the customer. If you talk about the services you can deliver to the customer, you can think about, for example, improved problem identification and helping the customers. So because maybe a lot of the knowledge in your organization exists in digital systems, you're quickly able to access relevant information that will help the customer with their specific problem. Rather than generic information or a lot of questions, you can create a tailored approach between, on the one hand, the customer and their problem, and on the other hand, the specific knowledge in your organization that you can quickly find, filter, and apply to a situation. Think about a help desk. system of a company, for example. Rather than asking a lot of questions, you might be able to quickly identify which customer it is, how technical savvy they are, and whether you can need some generic help or you can go into specialized solution for them. That related to that is the reduction of information barriers, because you can access different systems yourself. You don't need to ask your colleagues. You don't need to go through different departments to find the answer. A long time ago, people had to physically go to different departments to find little pieces of information. Now all that information exists in systems that anybody could access. So that makes the whole process of managing a relationship with a customer easier. A customer relationship agent can view all the information about the customer, but also about their organization in one overview. And that has to do with also the improved integration of all these systems. It's not only integrating with business systems, but also communication, social media, all kinds of other platforms that can be used to maintain this relationship. And eventually you could even work with the customer. You can learn from the customer and from their experience and their feedback to improve your products and your services. So you can look at their behavior, you can look at their feedback, you can see how your products and services affect their behavior, or how their feedback can be used to improve your products and services. And finally, you can learn about the needs of the customers over time, and that allows you for better planning, for example. So we talk about that more in supply chain, but the better you understand consumer demand, the better you can plan. And again, a closer relationship with the customer means you get more information from them, and allows you to do better planning. So why are these relationships important? So we talked about how innovations can benefit customer relationship management, but why do we do it in the first place? Well, there's three main categories of doing customer relationship management. The first one is good customer relationship management allows you to attract more clientele, more customers. If you manage your relationship well, you increase your reputation. People will get a good image. People will tell other friends and family and others about your products on social media, for example. So you attract new customers with good customer relationship management. Also, because if you do customer relationship management well, you can quickly identify good, customers. The second aspect is that you will keep your clients and your customers engaged for a longer period of time. If you build a relationship, they don't see it as a transactional thing. They see it as a relationship building, and they see it as part of their identity. So a customer will come back to you for more products and services. So good relationship management can lengthen the transactions, it can lengthen the relationship or the time that a customer is engaged with you, and the longer they're engaged, the more products and services they will use. And finally, there's deepen the relationship. So we talked about attracting new customers, we talked about existing customers, keeping them satisfied so they keep coming back, but you can also use the relationship to start getting more revenue out of your customers by, for example, developing new products or offering them a higher tier of products, or cross-selling across different product categories or services. So customer relationship management can help you identify which customers may not be big spenders on your company yet, but you can work in that relationship. You can work with them to get them to spend more on your company, or you can offer them products and services tailored to their needs and that they will purchase from you. So we call that deepen. So widen, more customers; lengthen, keep customers longer engaged. Deepen is transform customers into something that gives you more revenue per customer. Let's take a look at the other side if you don't do that. So this is a news article, and it's a news article about a retail store in the Netherlands that went bankrupt. And unfortunately, this is something you will see happen now a lot. And it's not only due to the management, it's also in these times of Corona, of course, a lot of other effects are playing along. But in traditional retail, people come to your store and it's hard to build a relationship with them and to understand who they are. They come into your store, they try some products, they purchase them, and they leave. So you don't get a lot of information about who the customers are, why are they coming to your store, attract new customers, keep them longer engaged, or deepen the relationship. They're there once. So that gives you very little opportunity to do relationship building. They're quite an anonymous crowd. Of course, retailers are now working with customer cards or loyalty cards to start incentivizing you. But it's a very different business model than a company that, say, for example, KLM, where the relationship building is a fundament from the beginning. And this comes back to this competitive advantage and the business strategy that you're following. So, there's a lot of, especially in retail now, the question is, who is the customer and what do they want? And that is even before you start talking about before lengthening the interaction or deepening the interaction with the customer and managing a relationship. The very first step is understanding who is that customer, what do they want? Because on the one hand, that tells you something about the market, the need for the products and services you offer. On the other hand, it gives you information about how you should approach them, but also the potential for your business. So a key element is getting to know the customer and what they want, and from that you can start building more and more on this customer relationship management. So let's go into that, and we'll start at the very practical level of operational customer relationship management.